Happy Monday, friends. Welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. I'm happy you joined me in my studio today. I've got some fun cards to show you featuring a great bundle in our July to December mini catalog. We're going to wait a few seconds and let people jump on. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. Mine was pretty good, not terribly productive, but I did a little bit of work. Emily was in town helping her dad with some things, and they brought dinner over on Saturday. Wonderful steaks, scalloped potatoes. What else do we have? Caesar salad, bread, even dessert. So that was fun. And then we watched the Cleveland Guardians New York Yankees game, and what a fun ending. If you're a Cleveland fan, I grew up in Cleveland, so I'm cheering on the Guardians, but a great ninth inning. Unfortunately, they lost last night, so tonight it's we got to get down to business and get ahead fast. So anyways, and yesterday, what else happened? I ran some errands, did a little bit of shopping. I'm not much of a shopper, but I did want to take advantage of a 40% off at Kohl's. And then had dinner at my sister's with she and her husband. So that was very nice. Andrea just left a little bit ago, so my die cutting fairy was here. She did loads of work for me. So I always appreciate that. Plus it's just nice to have her in the studio and for us to spend time together. Okay, oh, and I gotta show you, I've slowly been purging and going through things in my basement. And this morning while Andrea was die cutting, I was pulling things out of some boxes that had her name on, and she was doing, yes, I'll take, no, I don't want it, that kind of thing. And we came across things from her high school graduation, which would have been in 2010. And this was one of the photos we came across. This is my niece, who is now in her second year at Ohio State. Oh, this is like just too cute. And I thought, I just have to mail that to her. It'll be a fun thing to send her at school. But fun memories. Do you do that too? And I'm like, I really have to, it's hard for me to get rid of things that were at one time very meaningful. That's why I love scrapbooks so much. But, you know, I had portraits of the girls hanging on the wall, and I just don't have room for that. And they don't really want it. So it's hard. Anybody else have that problem hanging on to stuff? Yeah. Anyways, a quick reminder that registration for my Boughs of Holly class to go is going on now through Friday. It's selling well, so please don't wait till the last minute to order yours. These are just 2 of the cards, 2 of the designs, 2 of 5, and with that class you'll make 10 cards, 2 each of 5 different designs, and it all features the Boughs of Holly suite in our July to December mini catalog. Another thing I want to mention is in the last week I've had 3 people join my Stampin' Up community, my Mary Stampers community of demonstrators. And they just could not refuse the fabulous deal we have going on. I'm sure you've heard about it, if not from me, from other demonstrators, but the Starter Kit Plus promotion is going on now through October 31st. Normally our starter kit is you choose or select $125 a product, you pay $99 plus tax, and it all ships free. And there's no further obligation. But right now for this month, you get an additional $30 of product that you choose. So it's $155 of product, you pay $99 plus tax, and it all ships free. So it's pretty amazing, and I actually ran the math. If I were to purchase $155 of product, or a customer were to purchase $155 of product, and if their tax was about the same as mine, 7.5%, plus the 11% shipping, they would pay $184.95 for that $155 of product. But with the Starter Kit Plus promotion, it all ships free, and they're getting $155 of product for a total of $106.42. So huge savings. What is that? About a difference of $78? Huge. So if I can help you with that, please let me know. When you purchase a starter kit, there's no obligation to do classes and events and parties. If you want to, I'm certainly here to help you with that. If you would like to be a hobby stamper, enjoying a discount and pre-ordering when new catalogs are getting ready to come out, you're welcome also. Many of my team members are hobby stampers, so I welcome everyone. So let me know if you're interested, or check it out on stampinpiece.com. All right, it's time to stamp and craft. So I'm going to flip my camera around now. While I do that, please share this live video and invite others to join us this afternoon. Alrighty, I want to point out that today I'm using the Very Best Occasions bundle. Now I have to say, when I initially went through the catalog, I skipped right over that punch thinking, I really don't want that, but I do like the stamp set. So I kind of thought on it for a while, and then I decided, you know what, I really want the stamp set. I love different sentiments. And then I got to thinking, well, if I buy it as a bundle, I'm getting 10% off both. So I decided to go for it. And I have to say, I am pleased that I did. So this is what that Very Best Trio Punch looks like. And I'm going to be making 3 cards today to show you the 3 different cuts that this punch does and the different ways that you can use them. Oh gosh, Lynn Kim, you are waiting on snow up in the Upper Peninsula. You know, it looks like it could here, and it's very windy. Sounds like it could here in Central Ohio, but I don't think we have anything in the forecast. All right, so let's go. And of course, wonderful sentiments. Some that you can use for the holiday season, and then ones to enjoy throughout the year. So super versatile. Okay, so let me get everything out. Here's my sample card. What we're making is going to be slightly different, but on this, I'm showing you just how you use that corner punch. So I'm starting with Garden Green, 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it 4 1/4. I'm using Basic White on the inside, 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I'm trying to think, Sweetest Christmas, I think is the name of this designer series paper. It's in the Sweetest Candy Canes collection. This measures 2 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay, 2 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to adhere this, and really either one of these sides would work well for what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to adhere it to a piece of white just to make it pop a little more. This measures 3 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to adhere this to the left side of the card front. And when I put it here, I'm actually, and you could, you know, put it in different places, but I'm actually placing mine so that the top, the bottom, and the left margins are equal. But again, you can do your way. All right, so for this first card, I'm demonstrating how to use this corner punch. And basically what it does is just clip off the corner. And there are some grooves here, right here and here. And you're going to stick in your cardstock so that one edge meets this groove and the perpendicular edge meets the other one. So you want to make sure you don't want it off a little bit. You want to make sure it's very snug on both sides. And then you punch. And that's what it does, just clips off that corner. Now I want to do it on the other corner as well. So again, I want to make sure I have this in here all the way. It should not be moving in any direction. And that's what I have. It looks like this big tag. If you like making Christmas tags or any kind of tag to put on gift bags, this is a great one to use for that. So now I'm going to stamp it. And I did choose to punch first and then stamp, just because I wanted the focus to be on using the Very Best Trio punch. Actually, let me kind of practice stamping straight. Oops, I need to go up on the right slightly. Oh, good. I will adhere this to the card front with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then I'm going to add a bow. I'm going to put it not quite halfway up and add an angle. You know, this is a card too. You could turn different directions if you wanted. Keep that in mind. A lot of the card layouts I use, you can do that. Turn the direction of the cards. So this is this is Real Red and Garden Green ribbons, and these come as a combo in that Sweetest Candy Cane or Sweetest Christmas product suite. So it uses bright traditional colors, but then it throws in some Pool Party and Sweet Sorbet as well. But you get the traditional red and green in there. I have to say, we have the best reds for Christmas. Real Red, isn't that like the truest red you can think of? And of course, Cherry Cobbler is just rich and elegant. And we have so many greens to choose from in our collection. And it seems that all of the greens work well with the reds, doesn't it? I'm pretty traditional when it comes to Christmas cards. I don't very often go beyond like the traditional red and green golds. All right, I have that. And I think we should add a bit of bling. Move that out of the way. So let's see, I've got red, silver, and gold. I think I'm going to go with the gold. These are the festive pearls. So they come with the 4 colors. Red, this is like soft succulent, silver, and gold. All right. And you know what? I might as well add some to the sample as well. I know you guys never mind me adding bling, do you? Okay, put those aside. So there's my sample, and here is the one I just made. Same, all the same products, just a different pattern paper. And I showed you the corner cut, the corner punch. All right, now here is a fun one. Okay, I'm not even gonna show you the sample because I'm like, I just think this is pretty fun. So, you know, I'm always looking for ways to make things more versatile, whether it be using new products in different ways than intended, or using our products, especially holiday products, finding ways to use them throughout the year. So we're really getting the most we can for our money. So I'm starting with a Blushing Bride card base. And I have more paper. I keep thinking I might be telling you the wrong name of this paper. It's Sweetest Christmas. It is not Candy Cane. Sweetest Candy Cane. It's Sweetest Christmas is the name of the suite and the designer series paper. Sweetest Candy Canes is the name of the bundle. The stamp set and, stamp set and dies. So just, you know, and again, I could use either side. I'm using this red, which is a little more sweet sorbet. It's not quite as, oh, I just showed it to you. Well, wait a sec. Just did what I said I wasn't going to do. So instead of using candy canes like I normally would for the holidays, I'm going to use 2 candy canes and adhere them so they're in a heart shape. I'm putting several of these mini Stampin' Dimensionals on because I just want to be sure that the entire candy cane is popped up for both of these. Well, come on. I haven't taken my walk yet today, and I'm thinking I'm going to need to pull out my winter coat, put my beanie on. The wind is like really howling here. And I'm going to put my heart way over to the right side. Oops. The 2 candy canes can cross over a little bit or a lot, whichever you want. I'm doing a little bit at the top and then more at the bottom to get the heart shape. I'm going to adhere this to my card front, and then I'll show you how I'm going to finish off the card and use the Very Best Trio Punch. By the way, this DSP was 5 inches by 3 3/4, and then the white layer I have behind it is let me think, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay. Yes, Sandy Jarman, the majority of what I make is cards, not always. Sometimes I do some 3D items, tags, gift bags, gift card holders, sometimes scrapbook pages. But most often when I'm showing you how to use product, I'm showing cards. All right, so this is the punch, part of the trio punch that I'm using next. And this basically just cuts a little slit, like a ribbon hole, I'll call it. And there is this indented line in the plastic here, and that is to be your guide. That's where you want the center of your cardstock to be. So I'm just going to position this in here as best I can, having that line at the center of my cardstock. Now, you can measure the center of the cardstock if you'd like, and that's from left to right. I don't. I typically just eyeball it, okay? And this punch is best. I know some of the punches I use in my hand, many of them I do, but this punch in particular, I like it to be sitting on the tabletop. And when you put your cardstock in, this is a very narrow piece. You just want to be sure that it's all the way in. It'll stop. There's a ridge back there that'll keep it in place. And you want to make sure it's all the way back, and you don't want it moving side to side. So kind of hold it in position like that. And there's your little ribbon hole. And when you're using the ribbon hole or that slit, the wider your piece, the easier that is. But again, I wanted to show you that it can be used on very small, narrow pieces of cardstock. So now I'm going to use another sentiment from the Very Best Occasion stamp set. This one says, "Love you, miss you." I've already used this one a couple of times. My daughter Emily lives a couple hours away in Cincinnati. So it's a fun one to use when I'm sending her cards or for friends I haven't seen very often. Love you, miss you. Because really, a lot of times I'm sending Emily cards. That's all I want to say is I love you and I miss you. And then, let's see, I don't know if I want to use the red ribbon or the green again. I think I'm going to go with the red. So we got a lot of red happening here, but that's okay. But you can see that this is a card that is not necessarily just for the holidays, but I could use it any time of year, or it would make a great Valentine's Day card. Could also be a great anniversary card. Probably want to change out the sentiment, but it could be a nice, Sweetest Day card, Valentine's Day card. What else? Anniversary. Just a fun way to tell somebody you love them and you're thinking about them. So all I did was pull that ribbon through the slit, held it in place, and cut it to a length that I want. And cutting at an angle, I always think gives it sort of a nice polished look. Just looks a little nicer in most cases. I suppose there would be times I would use a straight cut, but most often I cut at the angle. And then I'm just tying those two ends of the ribbon together. I made a knot using the white baker's twine. And now I'm ready to put this on my card front with a couple Stampin' Dimensionals. Well, Sandy, thank you for adding me to your favorites. Oh, you make books. That would be something I'd be interested in seeing. And I'm just going to do it like this so the sentiment overlaps. Now, when you put this in the envelope, obviously, the ends are going to, need to be pushed into the envelope. And that's fine. But when people take it out or display their card, I think it's nice with the ends sticking out. You can cut them shorter if you like, but I kind of like it like that. So here's my finished card, and here's my sample. Again, same products, same layouts, and the same use of the Very Best Trio punch. And I will give away all 3 cards today, so be sure to hang on to the end. I have one more card to show you. Again, I'm featuring the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper. And all my sentiments today are from the Very Best Occasions stamp set, and I'm using the coordinating Very Best Trio punch. All right, so we have one more punch in our trio that I want to show you. And before I punch that, I want to show you a couple things with it on a different piece of cardstock. I'm going to use this large one just for now. So when you put this in here, again, there are two ridges inside, and you want to be sure to line up both sides, okay? Both perpendicular sides. So it should not move either direction if you have it in there all the way, and then you punch. Okay, now here's one thing you want to note. If you want this corner beside it to match, you need to flip this over. It's really not hard to punch, but I usually have the punch closer to my body. But for demonstration purposes, I need it to be further away so you can see it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. I'm going to punch this, but I need to flip this. So so things look symmetrical. All right. Let me show you what it looks like if you don't do that. Do this. And then I'm going to do this. And now look at that. Not quite right. Okay. It just looks a little off, doesn't it? And I could keep going around and you'll see what happens. Okay. So the opposites are the same, but they're not the same all the way around. So you want to think about that when you're using this particular part of the trio punch, okay? Now, one thing you could do is, I'll pull out another one, and you can do this, well, you could do it with this punch too. You could punch opposite corners and make something fancy like that. Let me show you what it looks like. So there's lots of possibilities here. So I think this would be kind of neat to do opposite corners if you have a sentiment, and it just makes it stand out a little bit more. Just a little bit decorative way to show, now what did I do with the other one? To show, show off a sentiment or whatever. But again, so I'm gonna, where's my little, oh, I don't see it. Oh, here it is. So I'm just gonna put this right here for now to remind you, okay, that when you're using this particular part of the trio punch, you need to be thinking about flipping it when you're punching corners side by side. By the way, this would make a nice layer on a card front too, wouldn't it? Something fancier than just our usual 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of paper. Okay, so let's move on. I've got a piece of real red cardstock, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I scored at 4 1/4 inches on the long side. Cindy, I'm glad you find the tips helpful. Oh, lots of you do. Nice. I'm glad. That's my job, not just to show you great cards, but also how to use the product and just make card making and paper crafting and stamping easier and fun for you with various tips. All right, so again, I'm using some Sweetest Christmas DSP that measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And when I do the next sentiment, I'm actually going to layer some red cardstock behind it. And I want you to see what it looks like when you layer cardstock on top of each other. and you've punched all the corners with this fancy punch. Making sure I got it all the right way. So you're basically going to flip on every other one. You're going to make 4 punches, but you just go around and you flip on the second and fourth. Also, when you're doing this, the layering, make sure you're starting with the same corner on so that it's going the right direction. Then you're flipping on the same corners as well. Okay, Cindy Ford, you have a question. What if you punched the white one and made the red more protruding? Oh, I see. Saying not punching the red one at all. You could do that. But I'm punching both pieces, both layers. No, you do not have to flip on those other designs. It's just this one. Okay, so I have that. And this sentiment I'm going to stamp with Memento. And then I'm going to do just a tiny bit of coloring on it. Ah, not very straight or centered. Let me try again. It's a little harder. Okay, that's better. A little harder when I have it out in front of me instead of closer to my body. But I need you to see it, right? So it needs to be out there. Okay, I'm going to use a Real Red and Garden Green Stampin' Right marker. And I'm going to color in first the berries. Oh, my fine tip doesn't have much ink in it. So I'll just do it very carefully with the larger tip. And then the Garden Green, I'm just going to go over the lines of this stamped pine sprig, just to add a little color to it. And then, yes, Cindy, correct. I guess I didn't say that. The red and the white are 2 different sizes. And when I post this to my blog, I'll have that. So I believe this was 2 inches, 2 inches by 2 3/4. So then I made this 2 1/4 by, what did I say? 3 inches, 2 1/4 by 3. But I'll post that when I add this video to my blog, so you'll have it. But again, that piece, the size would be dependent on whatever sentiments you are using. But yes, if you want them to, if you want to nest them or layer them, I usually go a 1/4 inch larger on the length and width. If I want just a small border, then I'd go 1/8 of an inch instead. All right, so got a little color in there. I'm going to add this to the Real Red with dimensionals. I'm sure you knew that, right? How many of you knew I was going to pull out dimensionals? I'm sure you all did, because that's what I do. Oh, yes, Cindy, I do remember that. The line of demarcation. And I had never heard of that before, right? It was a day somebody out there in cyber world was teaching me something new. I love it. You know what they say, we should learn something new every day. Keep our brains young. All right, and I'm just going to put this on my card front now. And my sample looks exactly the same as this, but I was thinking, what can I do different to it? I don't know. I don't know that I want anything on it. I know I really don't want the ribbon or the bow. Let's go for some of these festive pearls and see what I think of that. And I think I'm using the silver. Oh, the red. Oh, wait. Would those berries be too big, the red pearls, to use as berries? Not sure I like that. A little too big. So I'll stick with my original, or my first, not original, my first thought. Oh, you know what? I have 8 left, 4 on each, right? I'm going to do it like this. Those like little semicircles. Okay, the adhesive moved from the pearl when I picked it up. There. I'll put this one a little closer. Do you see those 4 semicircles? That's where I'm going to put the silver pearls. And I have exactly enough for both cards. I need to come up with a card or project where I use the soft succulent pearls that are there. That might be pretty, like, I don't know. They're kind of bluish too, though. Maybe with snowflakes or something. I don't know. Now I'm thinking snow. See what you did to me, Lynn Kim? I'm thinking snow. My sister, when I was having dinner at my sister and brother-in-law's last night, we got to talking about the winter and how people are predicting, oh, this is going to be a bad winter. But, you know, they've been saying that in Ohio for probably the last 4 for sure. So I don't know if we'll get a bad winter or not, but we all said we're really due for a very nice, some pretty snows. Oh, Sandy, I'm so sorry to hear about your husband. I'll definitely say a prayer for him and for you as well. That is awfully hard, I'm sure. But I'm glad that you have card making and paper crafting as something positive you can do to maybe relieve some stress and some anxiety. Oh, Cindy, yes. With the penguins and the pool of snow, yes, that would be good. Oh, Lynn, you're going to send me some snow. You know, that'd be okay. I do have a neighbor boy, a teenager, couple doors down, and I tell him if the snow is powdery, I'm fine. I will shovel myself, but if it's heavy, I need him to come on down, and I'm happy to pay him to do that. Last year, one of the snows, we had some ice, and I had a really difficult time with that. Okay, so here's the 3 cards that I made today featuring the Very Best Occasion stamp set with the Very Best Trio punch. So now you've seen different ways that you can use this fabulous punch. Because like I said, when I first looked at it, I thought, I don't know if I want to bother with that, but now I'm glad that I did. And incidentally, a couple weeks ago, our CEO, Sarah Douglas, demonstrated this. And she's online every Tuesday sharing some kind of product tip or a quick card. I'll have to post the link for that. You can probably look up Sarah Douglas, CEO, Stampin' Up. But that is typically every Tuesday at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Mountain time. Alrighty. If you would like to have your name put into the drawing to receive one of these cards, please type in the comments very best. Let's do this. Let's do very best trio punch. I have a hard time remembering the names of a lot of the products, and this was one of them. I kept looking it up. What's it called? What's it called? Very best trio punch. Okay. I'm so glad all of you joined me today. Doing Facebook Lives is always a bright spot in my day. So thank you. I was telling somebody recently that it amazes me to think that, I think a couple years, especially when pandemic started, it was hard for me to think that I make friends online, but I do. We get to know each other. We share things about our families, about our projects, and I do feel like I get to know people through social media. And that's a really nice thing. I live by myself now. And of course, the world was shut down for a while with COVID. So we're all kind of extra careful, but I love that we can connect and enjoy time together based on our common interest that we love stamps, ink, and paper, right? It's a great thing. Okay. And again, prayers. I'm trying now. It was Sandy, right? Sandy, I think. Trying to remember your name. Sandy Jarman, does that sound right? And I can't find it. Yes. Okay. Prayers go out to Sandy Jarman's husband and his medical team. And for all of you, I'm going to say an extra prayer this evening. Just that you all get what you need. I'll put it that way, whether it be peace, comfort, happiness, whatever it is, please know that you're in my prayers and I appreciate you all. Okay, that is it for Monday. I will see you on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I have a few things in mind, and I'm going to scroll and see if I missed any questions. I don't think so. Sandy, I'm glad you found us too. We are a great group, don't you think? My Stampin' Peace followers, I am very blessed. Okay. All right, I think I answered the questions that I saw. I don't see anything else. So I'm going to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and please join me on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. Bye-bye.